Showtime Primetime.
It's XL Primetime, featuring Joe C.
I reduced my toilet paper down to 3 squares.
Matt Hayes.
Big asses and big thighs, yeah.
And Leon Searcy.
Bringing you love, peace, and soul.
How you like me now? How you like me now?
Just rip the soul right out of Duval, okay? Just go ahead and take it. That's what it feels like. We had soul yesterday. Actually, we had a little soul, and then we just got more taken away from us not that long ago. Welcome in XL Primetime, a hump day. We need to get over a hump, a serious bump in the proceedings here in Duval, that's for sure. But we say, hey, we say thanks to the Golf Club of Southampton. It is cold. It's in the high 30s. JJ, did you just say 38 degrees?
That's what Molly said.
Right now?
Not loving that.
Yeah, so it's cold. I saw our sales manager, Ken Brady, all beanied up. Not hoodied up, beanied up. And then I look at Matt Hayes, and he's got that dome covered up with a beanie as well.
I wear it inside my house now, too.
Yeah, it's that cold? That's why I told you.
It's cold. It's just, I'm not used to it.
Oh, I know. Listen, none of us are used to this, okay? We saw snow falling yesterday, Leon. When we were leaving, JJ was picking up the video on X, and I think Pensacola had how many inches of snow?
10.
8? 10?
Really?
Oh, my God.
Which I believe was 7 inches more than their record.
Yeah, which I wouldn't doubt, because for it to fall and fall as long as it did, that's for sure. All right, so if any of you guys have family, friends, whatever, you got some either Panhandle, L.A., which is lower Alabama, any of those pictures, you can definitely shoot them to us. But right now, it's not freezing here, Leon. It's burning up in Duval in terms of anger, frustration, disappointment, however you want to describe it. But one guy was off, or I shouldn't say was offered. One guy was in line to possibly get a head coaching gig in the National Football League. And as we all talk about, one of 32, and Liam Coen decided to pull his name out, staying with Tampa, going to get him a little bump in pay, but he ain't heading north.
Yeah, young offense. I asked you this when we were at the production meeting. So are you trying to tell me one of the least qualified offensive coordinator? Now, he's done it twice.
Right.
He's
minimal experience.
Minimal experience. I don't want to say qualified. I mean, minimal experience, a young coach who there's an opportunity of one of 32 of these openings, and you tell that team no. And when JJ texted this afternoon, I immediately started laughing. And I did not necessarily because it was funny, but I mean, I
it was funny.
It was funny. Okay, let me go and get to it.
The guy that hasn't been sought after by anybody. Other club
so
told the Jags no.
You said it yesterday. Yesterday you said, well, you put Liam Coen's interviews and nothing showed up.
Right. It was,
and then it said Liam Coen's interview.
Exactly.
It showed up at the Jaguars. So this guy only had one opportunity. He was the only guy. I mean, this guy, he got the interview with the Jaguars, and he told them no.
Yeah, and I want to make one thing clear, at least as things sit right now. This wasn't getting one of 32. This was getting one of one because no one else was coming after him. And I, like I said yesterday, or actually I have been saying for a while on the Bucs offense, Baker Mayfield has been a renaissance man. How many times did I apologize to him this year? A dozen times. Hey, I owe Baker a big I was wrong, because he's resurrected his career. And from Dave Canales to Liam Coen, they have thrived, prospered. They've been fun to watch. Look at what they've been able to do with the running game. Remember, we talked a bunch about this. Bucky Irving is the guy that was low in the draft for them, and give Jason Light credit, the general manager, because he went and got him. And then I called him you want to talk about it? He looks like a carbon copy of Warwick Dunn. This guy has churned and burned in the run game. So there's a lot of good things that's happened down there. But I'll fully admit, I don't know whether Liam Coen would have come in here and been a major success or a major fail. I have no idea. It's just from the outside looking in, when you find out that somebody has withdrawn their name from consideration, you think, what? It's a dumpster fire. He doesn't want to come to it. And then the next thing you think of is that there's a guy still in the building that's controlling everything, and his name is Trent Baalke.
Especially when it's the only job he could get. That's it. That's the job he could get. He has a good job now. There's no doubt about it.
Right.
But these jobs in the NFL are rare. I mean, I think we all understand that. Everyone in the coaching business, the coaching fraternity, no matter what level you coach at, understands that. It's the number one level of football to reach, and the number one thing at that level of football, if you're a coach, is to be a head coach, and there's 32 of them. And one team interviews him, and he pulls himself out. Mm-hmm. So to me, this underscores that as an owner, Schott is a guy who will write checks, like you said, billions. Yeah. As much as anyone in the league.
A willing spender.
Yes, a willing spender, okay? He's all about that. He's all about doing whatever he can to help. But as far as the structural process of how the stuff gets built, of how the sausage is made, he wants no part of it. He wants no part of it. He's hands off. And a lot of people will say, well, that's a great thing. You know, you got a hands-off owner, he just gives you checks. That's great. And I would agree with that to an extent. But if it gets to the point where you've got a guy in there who the narrative in the NFL is no one wants to work with him, and you continue to have him, and you continue to go down this road of when you're trying to find a coach, he hired the last coach. Oh, by the way, that's number one, right? If you go down the road of trying to fire a coach or hire a coach, and you're in the exact same situation you were in 3 years ago when no one wants to talk to you or no one wants the job, and you're going to end up going with a guy who's been a coach before, got fired, is now an assistant somewhere or isn't working somewhere at all, doesn't that, at least if you're the owner, say, something structurally is not right about what's going on right now about what we're doing? That to me is the biggest thing. Like at some point, Schott has to look in there and say, okay, what we're doing is not right if a guy has one job offer from one team in the league and pulls out of it.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So you guys let us know what you think. You got a little rage in you. You want to do a little pop off. You can dial the number 904 because we have more than one area code here in North Florida. But it's 207-7071. Real easy to jump in. You can do a little pop off if you want. Voice a little frustration, a little anger, whatever it might be. And we'll try and get some calls in a little bit later on and let you guys at least get in on this because now you have to move past another possibility. Aaron Glenn is now taking the job up in New York. We're looking at jobs that are starting to be filled. Ben Johnson in Chicago. He leaves Detroit. He goes to Chicago. Aaron Glenn leaves Detroit, goes to New York. You've got Mike Vrabel, who comes back to New England. You still got the Raiders. You still got the Cowboys. You still got the Saints. You still got the Jacksonville Jaguars. And so where are you with the guys that are still out there? And we've mentioned a bunch of them a number of different ways.
You know where this is headed.
Yeah. Well,
this is headed to Spags, and you know it is.
Actually, I don't, because if they went and got Steve Spagnuolo, that would not be a bad hire. It would not.
Well, I'm just telling you, that's where it's headed. Because if you're an up-and-comer in the league, clearly these guys talk to each other, the coaches, right? Spags has been through it before. He's been through a very difficult job when he was a head coach, so he understands it, right? He understands the pressures of it. I can guarantee you Spags in his head thinks, I don't care about Baalke. I'll deal with him. I'm just going to put a winner on the field, and he won't even be an issue with me.
Yeah, but we can go the other way.
But you're not going to get that with a young guy. A young guy's going to be more concerned about that.
Because we could go, let's just use Robert Saleh as an example, Leon. He's a guy that was bounced out of New York. Both he and the GM bounced out of New York, and that may have been an Aaron Rodgers power play. Easily could have been. And he was one of the guys that became collateral damage to try and keep Aaron happy. So anyway, he gets bounced out of there. He was up there for a few seasons, and he could come in here and go, you know what? I'm going to get my second chance. I'm going to take it. And he's the next guy that's going to be coming into town.
Yeah, because he's felt funky. I mean, that whole thing down there, up there in the Jets, is stink. So, I mean, you know what it smelled like down here.
I think he got dumped in the East River.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, I mean, he didn't smell stank before now, but he leaves there and come here, he might smell it some more.
Right, but the difference is Spags is an arm's more than an arm's length away from his last job. His last job was in 2011 with the Rams.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
So to me, I see Saleh as a guy of I'm not going from one mess to another mess. I'm going to at least be a little picky if I can be. Well, whereas Spags is, all right, this might be it for me. This might be my last shot.
You okay with the retread? I mean,
I'm saying
all I'm
saying is this is clearly where it's headed. This is where we're headed.
And I kind of agree with him when it comes to Spags. If you put a winner on the field, my Baalke becomes
irrelevant.
I mean, he's irrelevant. I mean, but you got a lot to work with.
Well, and I'm not
got a lot of work to do.
I'm not taking a shot at Spags' age, but the age has to be something of a consideration. Okay, he doesn't just have an AARP discount; he's got an AARP card, and so he's a guy that has been with Andy Reid. and has been as important to Kansas City's success. You could argue this. As important to Kansas City's success as anybody. Andy Reid's top of the chart. Patrick Mahomes may be top of the chart. You probably will argue those two. But Spags should be given a hell of a lot of credit for what they've been able to do. And then take a look at what he's been able to do in this most recent run. All the one-score games. Well, Pat Mahomes, somehow or another, the magician that he is, he figures out how to win these games. But Spagnuolo does his share, making sure that he schemes it up.
100% he does. But I can also guarantee you it's going to be, this is who we wanted all along. We got a championship-level coach. He's done it before.
Yeah, and look, for a guy to come in, and he ain't the first that has been able to come in late in life and get another shot. And like I said, when you talk about detail, the way he coaches, it looks to me like he's got accountable players. Those are all positives. But you still have to know that when you bring in whomever it is, that this guy's going to be able to take the reins of this operation and fundamentally change.
Plus, yes,
dramatically.
And it's not only that.
It is right now.
It's not only that. The one advantage you would have with Spags, and this is kind of the point I was making yesterday about Liam Coen, who I think is a terrific coach. Mm-hmm. Spags has been in the league forever. He knows guys, so he's going to be able to put together a competent and quality coaching staff. Like, he's going to get guys that can help him, guys that he knows can win, guys that he knows and understand what he wants out of a team. That's the good thing about getting a guy like Spags. Like you asked me, I'm not against it. I'm just saying there's no doubt this is where this is headed. Mm-hmm. Because it clearly looks like now, like, these young guys, they don't want to be part of this nonsense.
Yeah,
why would you want to be part of this nonsense?
Well, I want to make one thing also clear on XL Primetime. This is the third time when it's seemed clear this is where it's going.
Right.
Okay. Just so we can make sure
that no doubt.
Just so we have that on record on XL Primetime.
Guess what? Same thing 3 years ago. Remember when it was there was no doubt, everything was set. Yeah, Coach, new GM, everything was set. Mm-hmm. And then cratered.
Yeah.
Well, who would Spags bring in as the OC? That's just as important.
Oh, of course,
hugely important.
Yeah,
and you could take a look, and I'm going to pull some of these guys up. But Kafka was in Kansas City, definitely a respected name. You can think of others that have been under Andy Reid that have learned under his tutelage. There have been guys that have been successful. There have been guys that have not. Doug Peterson was successful in one place, not so much here. Matt Nagy, not successful as a head coach up in Chicago, but deemed a decent play caller. So we'll go through those guys as well, if that is the case. So how about you do this? 641-1010. If you guys want to jump in on the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures, give us an argument for one or two. The pop-off line, 207-7071, and we'll try and get some calls set up in just a little bit. XL Primetime on a golf club of Southampton Wednesday.
Hello, friends. This is Jim Nance of CBS Sports.
I'm Marvin Lewis.
This is Archie Manning. You're listening to 1010 XL.
1010 XL.
1010 XL.
92.5 FM.
What's happening, fellas? It's your boy E to the T here, and it's a brand new year, which means a brand new you, especially in the bedroom. So if you're ready to make 2025 the year to level up where it counts, let me make it a little easier for you. Get yourself some Blue Chew. They've got a chewable tablet that has the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, Levitra, and Staxyn. That means you're getting top-tier performance, my boy, without leaving the house. Blue Chew comes right to your front door in a discreet package, so your neighbors won't even know what's going on. But you will. No doctor's offices and no pharmacy run. Just licensed medical providers helping you find the right prescription. And guess what? They're made right here in the USA. Oh, and did I mention it's free? Yeah, you heard me. Your first month is free. So what you waiting for? Visit BlueChew.com and get a consultation. And start your year off with confidence to keep things interesting in that bedroom. Get that Blue Chew at BlueChew.com, baby. Let's make this year unforgettable.
D1 Training East Jacksonville invites you to their mega NFL football camp at the Bowl School February 1st from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Ages 7 through 16. Get hands-on coaching from former NFL players at every single station. The coaches lineup put together by Connor and Sam at D1 is proudly sponsored by Tim Tebow. To sign up, call 904-901-6470.
I'm Chris Campione. In a world of big box law firms with satellite offices, there's something special about having a local legal team that cares about you and your community. We're not just lawyers, we're your neighbors. We understand the unique challenges facing the Jacksonville community because we live here too. At Campione Law, Campione Cares isn't just a tagline. It's our commitment to you. Campione Law, your trusted lawyers after an accident. CampioneLaw.com.
Count on Campione, Campione Law.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Mia here for MyBookie. It's win or go home with the AFC and NFC finals this weekend, so build your bankroll for the big game. The NFL playoffs are the ticket to the biggest game of the year, and all roads lead to New Orleans. This is your chance to get in on every high-stakes moment along the way. Your road to New Orleans starts now with MyBookie, the ultimate destination for bettors who want more. Whether you're backing the underdogs or riding with the favorites, every drive, every touchdown, every moment is an opportunity to win big. Kick off your 2025 right with risk-free Thursdays. Place a bet, and if it doesn't hit, MyBookie has your back. Dive into the Bet Boost tab to supercharge your picks and build that bankroll before the big game. MyBookie's online casino keeps the excitement going 24/7. Blackjack, roulette, slots, it's all there. Whether you're celebrating a big win or gearing up for the next round. Haven't joined? Now is the time. Use promo code 1010XL on your first deposit, and MyBookie will hook you up with an instant 50% deposit bonus because you deserve to start the new year off strong. Don't forget that promo code 1010XL on your first deposit, only with MyBookie.
Take a radio boat ride with Captain Cabin on the Ring Power Fishing Forecast Show. Reeled in by the Pest Pros at Royal Pest Services and awaken 180 weight loss.
Thursday nights at 6
on 1010XL AM.
Mia here. When it comes to roofing, whether it be shingles, metal, or most repairs, there is one name that has protected your home since 1999. Pro-Jax Roofing. Serving all of Northeast Florida, Mike and his guys have been repairing and replacing roofs for 25 years. Need insurance help? Mike's team can help. Raised in a military family, Mike provides great attention to detail with unparalleled quality and workmanship. They also have warranties, so you can have peace of mind. Call Mike today for a free estimate or online at projaxroofingfl.com.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Since 1977, we've been Jacksonville's local family jeweler with a beautiful selection of fine jewelry and certified diamonds. But we're also Jacksonville's leading buyer of gold, silver, and diamonds from the public. Gold has recently hit an all-time high at over $2,600 per ounce. Pay bills. Buy something fun. Now is the time to sell your gold for cash and get top dollar, or trade it in for a new piece and get even more at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Value or flavor? Price or taste? Why choose when you can get both with everyday deals at Sonny's? Right now, you can get the pork big deal for $10, the pork and rib combo for $12, and all you can eat ribs for just $19.99. Yep, you heard right. All your favorites are now available all day, every day. And that's why it's always Sonny's here. Sonny's Barbecue, local pitmasters since '68.
Home is where your story begins. And at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, we're here to make it the healthiest, most comfortable place it could be. Whether it's fresh, clean air, dependable plumbing, or reliable power, we take care of it all. From routine maintenance to state-of-the-art solutions, Donovan keeps your home running smoothly. Because at Donovan, we believe your home isn't just where you live, it's where your health meets comfort. Call Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing at 904-270-COOL or visit us online. Let's make your home healthier, safer, and better together.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. When you just can't take it anymore, or when you absolutely have to have your say, hit the pop-off line. 207-7071 and let it fly.
Jags offer. Liam declines. You suck. Baalke, Baalke, Baalke. You suck. It's all your fault. Woo!
Guys, stop playing shock radio. He wasn't offered the job. That's how he saves face. They're waiting on someone that's still coaching. Joe Brady.
Literally everybody in the country knows why these coaches don't want to work in Jacksonville. It's because of Trent Baalke. Sean Coen, wake up!
That's what we want. A little energy, attitude, opinion, and you know what that is?
Two callers, and then Trent Baalke's brother in the middle.
It's the passion that drives the fan, okay? That's what makes a fan so fanatical about their team, is that they want them to win. You guys pay good, hard-earned money. You guys get up every morning probably thinking about Jaguar ball and how we're going to get to the Lombardi, everything like that. And when you are routinely hit with either bad news or fails, it takes its toll on you. But that's what we want, just in terms of how fired up are you? What's the reason behind, once again, getting dogged by a potential head coach? Pop-off line 207-7071. Now, the way Schefter reported this, and I want to say Rap Sheet did the same thing, Jordan Schultz did the same thing, many of these guys have put it out there, is that you can use Ben Johnson as an example. Last year, he pulled his name out of consideration. Well, he was a hot item, okay? Ben Johnson was definitely a hot item last year. Liam Coen, maybe a hot item in terms of maybe landing this potential job, but not necessarily around the National Football League. If Tampa looked at it and said, you might get an offer, let's go ahead and lock you up right now. Let's give you a pay raise. You don't even know for sure if you're going to get the job. Let's go ahead and get you to say yes here, now. And so he said, probably in conversations with the people that are closest to him, and said, you know what? I might have the pick of another job next year if I stay here and do what I want to do. Yeah. And he says, I choose to withdraw my name from consideration, whether he was offered it or not.
Well, I mean, that could have happened. Absolutely, that could have happened. But essentially, if you look at the numbers, I mean, to be the top paid OC, about $3 million a year. Mm-hmm. If he had come to Jacksonville as the head coach, at least 6.5, maybe something like that. So you're telling me that he took a pay cut to go back to Tampa?
It wouldn't make a lot of sense to me. Like I said, a head coaching position and an opportunity. Mm-hmm. And let's not forget, even though there is a bad setup in that building, he's still, whoever it is, still walks into a division that is winnable and walks into a situation with a talented player in Trevor and some other good draft capital pieces. You really can't point to anything else right now that may be...
Well, you guys have been to Mons Venus.
Yeah.
Spectacular.
Yeah, exactly. So you do have the sights and sounds and scenes down there. Yeah. But what he's doing, comparatively speaking, I dig it. But when you're thinking about that next opportunity, and let's just use Ben Johnson as an example because he was that hot ticket last year. Yeah. He can pick his spot if things keep going well. There's no guarantee things are going to go going well.
But here's the thing with Liam Coen. I mean, you're young. You can afford to take risk. I mean, the Jaguar thing, I mean, to put that on your resume as a young and up-and-coming offensive coordinator, as a head coaching job, I mean, what is he? How old is he? He's young, 38.
He's about 40.
Like about 40 years old. Come on now. 40-year-olds. I mean, he could have afforded himself to come to Jacksonville, take this shot, take this risk, see what happens. Maybe it works out, maybe it doesn't. But I'm just saying, when you're young, you have a tendency to say, "Hey, listen, as well." He took a pay cut to go back to Tampa.
Let's real quick go over the head coaches of this franchise and see if the funk has stuck or not. Right?
Well, that's easy. Yes.
I mean, think about it.
Yeah, the smell. Del Rio? Yeah, it's lingering. Yes.
Baalke? What did Baalke?
I mean, Jack got another job as a coordinator. He got another coordinator.
Right.
He got another job as a coordinator. But everybody else is probably home.
Jack has been a head coach since then.
Grown. He home.
You hear me? Don't speak ill of Jack. Make sure you get this correct, okay?
Yes, I agree with you on that. My point is, like, when you take the job here and it doesn't work, there's usually only one way it goes, man.
That funk is lingering.
Well, the guy that left here that was the original guy won 2 Super Bowls. So it does work out for some, not for all. So let's just make sure we get that part right.
That's like Star Wars again. The galaxy fought for a long time ago.
And TC did learn from maybe his unrelenting style that he had when he was coaching you, and relented a little bit with Michael Strahan and those guys. Anyway, won a couple Lombardis. Jack Del Rio, had it not been for an injury to his quarterback, they were the number 1 seed with the Raiders. So who knows what would have happened with him. But I would take, honestly, what Jack was able to deliver consistently was somewhere around 500 for a long time.
Oh, yeah,
compared to what this team
100%
has dealt with since then.
I think the one thing we haven't factored in is the Doug effect.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, coaching is a fraternity, just like players are a fraternity.
Yeah.
Players will ask me when I left Pittsburgh, say, "Searcy, what is it like in Pittsburgh?" I said, "Man, top-notch organization from head to toe, fan base, places to go, cheap as hell." Okay, I'll just be honest with them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would tell them they're not going to pay you when it's your turn. They're not going to pay you, and to believe it. So, Doug, hey, if I'm a coach and I'm looking for a job, where you're thinking about Jacksonville, how do you not call them? Hey, how do they run it? What's the structure? How's it working with Baalke?
Mm-hmm.
What's the deal with Trevor? I mean, all these things factor in. I mean, I'm only speculating, but that's what we do.
I think it's fair to say that.
Yeah.
100% fair to say that.
And just think about it. If you have Doug's phone in your hand, okay, he just got up and he just walked out and left it, and you pick up his phone, you can see calls received, calls made, and I guarantee you got a bunch more that were calls received as opposed to calls made. And they all are coming from different area
Ben
codes.
Johnson,
yeah,
Liam
and
Coen,
saying, what
Joe
is it
Brady.
like? And for that matter, they could be calling anybody.
Yeah.
Press Taylor, Chad Hall, Phil Rauscher. You could go to the other side of the ball.
And why wouldn't Doug be honest?
Yeah.
Not only about the organization, how it was run, Trent Baalke, Trevor Lawrence, roster, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, he has no reason to be
Any
spiteful.
job you're in, people do that. Like, I have people that call me about specific jobs.
Mm-hmm.
I called when I was in the process earlier this year.
Right. Like, what's Joe Cowart?
I mean, right. What's it like to work with Joe C, man? But that, I mean, everybody does that. I don't care what job you're in. So it's only natural that they would do it.
Yeah. And so that, and I do agree 100% with what Leon said, fraternities are real in these particular settings. Okay. Coaches that move from NFL to college, they've got a bunch of guys they can call.
Yeah.
Players that are going from team to team, they got a bunch of guys they can call.
And the reason why I threw Trevor in there, because, I mean, Ben chose Caleb and Liam chose Baker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And in the case of Caleb, you got a rookie contract, so you might be able to get a little more financial salary cap help with him being on a rookie contract versus I-275. And in the case of Baker, he's a little cheaper than that.
Yeah.
But Liam may be looking at it, and this is just at least one other part of this. The folks in Tampa love what they saw from Liam for all the obvious reasons this year. They won the NFC South again. Baker had him a great year. Mike Evans, another 1,000-yard receiving season. And then that run game improved. I have to go back and look. It improved drastically from one year to the next. And so he did a lot of good things. And the other half of that is that they're all over Todd Bowles for maybe mismanaging the clock late in that game against Washington. So they're on his case a little bit.
You got to be thinking he's the head coach in waiting there, Liam Coen.
Kind of.
Obviously.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, kind of. And it's funny because if you go back to Bruce Arians, he made sure that the next guy had an opportunity in Tampa. And that's how this whole thing is unfolded down there. And so Bowles has been successful, but they haven't necessarily kicked down the door the way they wanted. And then they went nuts over the clock management and some of the decisions late in that game. I was just looking for these numbers here. From dead last to fourth in the run game. I'll take that all day. Now, let's just transfer this real quick to the other guys. Offensively speaking, Todd Monken is now coordinated an offense that's at the top of the NFL charts when it comes to rushing, and they were top 3 when it comes to scoring. Joe Brady piloted a club that also was right there. Both Baltimore and Buffalo averaged over 30 points per game, and they both ran their tails off. And I'll welcome either one of those. Okay,
that's 90s football, by the way.
I love it.
All day. Run the ball and play sound defense.
And now you have to work off of play action. The only way that Trevor Lawrence, I believe, is going to turn a major corner is with a solid run game and all the guys that up front that you need to make that happen to allow for play action to take place, to get bodies off of him, respecting the run, and then opening up some avenues. Brian Thomas Jr., as good as he was, just imagine if there was a solid run game and some mystique and intrigue to this offense instead of predictability. Oh, man, it would be something.
So the last 2 years with the Ravens, El Boogie has 74 touchdown passes and 25 turnovers. 74 total touchdowns, sorry.
Okay.
And 25 turnovers. Would you take that?
Yeah, it's. I thought the first number was pretty good because that would be about a 3-to-1 ratio. But El Boogie manufactures offense
other ways,
more than one way.
Yeah.
And so, hell yeah.
Even if you just go passing, you're not even looking at the running, okay?
Yeah.
Which I've been saying all along. Let's just focus on pass first.
Mm-hmm.
He's got 65 touchdowns and 11 interceptions.
Yeah.
In the last 2 years. In the last 2 years, under Monken.
Yeah, his numbers this last year, he cleaned up his interception.
The two previous before that, he had 33 touchdowns and 20 interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
The 2 years before Monken came.
Right. And so that was when Greg Roman was there. And Greg Roman's in L.A., and he's done some good things with Justin Herbert. I've thrown his name out before that I really do appreciate what he's been able to do there with Harbaugh. But you have to get a guy that's going to do what you just said.
More than doubled his touchdowns under Monken.
Yeah.
And more than half his interceptions under Monken.
That's the part I like hearing as much as anything. Clean up the mistakes. Clean them up. All right, 207-7071. We will take some calls at the top of 3 o'clock hour, but you guys keep firing. We love it when you do the pop-off.
Yeah, Baalke called in.
Yeah,
so
because that
we'll
way,
hear from Baalke next break.
And
Brilliant.
Yeah. And I know that, look, we're clobbering him, but we don't mind that he calls.
No.
We don't mind.
We want to hear his side of the story.
Exactly. All right, do it. Get in character. 207-7071. Hit the pop-off line. A golf club of Southampton Wednesday. You might be bundled up today, but that golf course will be waiting for you when that sun comes out and it warms up, I don't know, maybe north of 40 degrees.
What's going on here?
What
is this?
It's 1010XL.
We can't quite understand you.
1010XL.
Hey, folks, Rick Ballou here for John's Auto. They've been a staple in Jacksonville going all the way back to 1985. At John's Auto, they service all makes, all models, cars, trucks, diesel, you name it, they do it. Whether it's routine maintenance or a complete engine overhaul. Call John's Auto on Arlington Road. That's 904-743-3857 or go to johnsautomotivejacks.com.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. New year, new you. How many times have you heard that? Look, we all set goals when the year begins, and more times than not, it revolves around the way you look. So if you're ready to get serious about being the best you, it's time to get serious about Awaken 180 weight loss. It's time to get serious about losing weight the right way and getting into the best shape of your life. Safely. No guesswork. No trial and error. No medication side effects. I'm proof. I lost 40 pounds in 9 weeks on Awaken 180, and Hacker has lost 115. You can too. Doesn't matter what your goal weight is, Awaken 180 will get you there quickly and safely. It's a clear path to success without disappointment. Reach your goals with Awaken 180 weight loss and become a new you. Trust me, it was simple. A word you never hear used with weight loss programs, unless, of course, you're referring to Awaken 180. Choose the simple, clear path to success with the solution for weight loss. Awaken 180 weight loss at awaken180weightloss.com.
This is Dr. George Bari inviting you to look online at BariOrthopedics.com for the latest in medical advancements when it comes to getting you back to full joint health. After studying under Dr. James Andrews, I know proper diagnosis is the first key to treatment, and educating the patient is the fastest path to recovery. Whether it's chronic back pain, nagging arthritis, or necessary joint replacement, we're here to serve you in the best possible way. We are Bari Orthopedics and online at BariOrthopedics.com.
Find out more at BariOrthopedics.com. That's BAHRI Orthopedics.com.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. It's playoff time. It's now or never. Don't miss out on the last few weeks of football action with PrizePicks, the best place to win cash while watching the playoffs. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in award winnings, PrizePicks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. The app is really simple to use. Pick 2 or more players across any sport, pick more or less on their projection, and you can win up to 1,000 times your money. PrizePicks now offers MasterCard for quick and easy deposits into your account for this season. Join PrizePicks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app, available to play in more than 40-plus states, including California and Texas. Download the PrizePicks app today and use code JAX, J-A-X, to get $50 instantly when you play 5. That's code JAX on PrizePicks. $50 instantly when you play 5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. PrizePicks. Run your game.
Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
New Year.
Year's resolutions, but let's be honest. By February, that gym membership is just a $50 a month guilt trip.
So why not take that cash and finally fix your leaky faucet, unclog that drain, or tune up your AC?
Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning has your back. Start the year fresh. No leaks, no clogs, no excuses.
It's a resolution you'll actually keep.
Call Duck Rooter at 904-862-6769 today. Because when you're stuck, call the Duck. Right now, get $50 off any service of $150 or more.
What is the coldest temperature ever recorded on Earth? The answer next.
There's always a good reason to compare homeowners' insurance rates. You may be paying too much. Protect your home with a Southern Oak insurance policy today.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
The coldest temperature ever recorded was in Antarctica in July of 1983. An unbelievably cold minus 128.6 degrees.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Before the Great American Race on Sunday, the high banks of Daytona heat up with a Saturday night showdown in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Experience the intense competition up close on the sport's biggest stage to kick off the 2025 season. The NASCAR Xfinity Series at Daytona International Speedway, Saturday, February 15th. Tickets start at just $49, and kids 12 and under are free in general admission. Secure your seats now at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
What could you do with an extra $75,000 right now, or even a couple $100,000? If you own a home, you can get that money in less than a week with Loan Pronto. Hey, Prosser here. Loan Pronto is the leader in quickly converting your home equity into cold, hard cash, so you can pay off all your credit cards or start that home remodel. Loan Pronto has several easy options to let you access the cash from your home. There's virtually no paperwork, no cumbersome process, no junk fees, often no appraisals. Listen, the average homeowner now has over $300,000 in equity. That's your money. Use it. One client got $150,000 out and paid off all their credit cards, 2 car loans, and a personal loan, cutting their monthly expenses by $1,500. You can get approved in as little as 1 day, so act now with no hard credit pull up front. LoanPronto.com or 904-999-1508. Get the money you need for anything at 904-999-1508 or just go to LoanPronto.com. Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
The problem with this franchise is ownership. He is derelict of duty, sucks, and I wish he would sell the team and go away forever.
In addition to not choosing Baalke, I think it's important to note that these coaches have also passed on Trevor Lawrence, saying he's not it. They'd rather Caleb Williams and Baker Mayfield.
Oh, hey, Duval. I know you're all out there wishing bad upon me. I would be too. But I'll find a new head coach soon. In Baalke, we trust. Clown out.
This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
We love the pop-off callers, the prime-timers, and now maybe instead of, we have already, I think, one qualified general manager that calls us from time to time. May try and pass himself off as Trent Baalke, but that was like a Spicoli Baalke there, and I welcome him. I like him. Yeah. He's in board shorts and flip-flops right now as he's running this franchise. So I appreciate that. Excellent work. All right, 207-7071. You can throw a call on the pop-off line, and then you can just hang up, and you can throw your toes up towards the sun or whatever it is right now that's out there, and wait and listen and hear yourself right here on XL Primetime. And you can definitely hit the text line, 641-1010. We got to get to a few of those because the obvious concern right now is Shad hearing what everyone out there is saying. Is it possible that this owner could be moved by either your overtures to make a change or the fact that he's hearing maybe more no's than yes in terms of the interest in this job? Because that is kind of where we are right now. Ben Johnson basically said, I see Chicago as a better opportunity. Liam Coen, as you just described, Leon, said, I think I'll just take a pass and stay down there. I could be the next head coach down here in Tampa Town, and it's working pretty good. When is he going to hear what he needs to hear to be able to make a decision to make a change?
I mean, the further we go back in the line, I mean, I mean, those organizations that they picked. I mean, right now, as far as if we shuffle the cards, I mean, we're not an ace or a king or a jack or a queen. We're a 2. I mean, that's the national perception of us. Outside of Duval, I mean, the national perception is that like what Matt calls them a dumpster fire down in Jacksonville. And that's relevant to hiring a coach. I mean, if he's getting that kind of information that organizationally that franchise is a mess. I mean, why would you want to be a part of it?
Yeah.
Whether you're a young coach or whatever. I mean, why would you want to be a part of that?
And yeah,
I was just going to say, if he hasn't seen it after losing 17 of 22, if he hasn't seen it after this team's record is 26-58 since Baalke's been the GM, he's not going to see it.
Yeah.
This is it.
That's scary.
Baalke is his ride or die. I got news for you.
Yeah.
That's where we're at right now.
Is the stash growing up and covering up his vision?
I don't know.
It's usually below the nose. Now it might be above the eyes. I'm not sure, but that's the part that I think is what is frustrating a lot of fans, because you're now entering a category of professional teams, and you're being regarded as one of the worst. Not professional football teams, professional teams. And you guys know who I'm talking about. There are other teams that are viewed in the worst imaginable way. That's the last thing you want to happen here in Duval.
Let me put it into more perspective for you, okay? If you take away the 2 9-win seasons, under Baalke, they're 8-42.
Yeah, it sucks. It's awful. And he came into power he came into power when they decided to let Dave Caldwell go, and then they didn't bring anybody else in. They promoted him, which was a classic Shad Khan move. Shad is promoted more than once inside the building, and yeah, those numbers.
I do blame Caldwell, by the way. He put that virus in the computer.
That was a plan.
Yeah, he did.
That was 100% did, man.
Well,
that was his gift to Duval walking away.
You can just picture it. Shad says, "I want you to go get some help." He said, "I'll get you some help. I'll get you some help. And I'm going to make sure that I get somebody that's worse than me so you won't fire me right away." And that is kind of the way it feels. Now, it's starting to feel like we've got a little bit of a Shad problem here. I think everyone would agree with that. Let's make this the 10-10 take right now, because you guys want to get off of this feeling in the quickest way possible.
Now, Josie's 10-10 take. Slow smoked and served up by Sonny's Barbecue. Local pitmasters since 68.
They got great deals right now. You got your pork and rib combo. You got the big deal. You've got that all-you-can-eat ribs for under $20. Make sure you take advantage of it. Just slide on into any one of your area Sonny's for lunch, for dinner, for any party plans. Make sure you check out Sonny's. So here we are. Matt just gave the numbers as far as where this team is at under Trent Baalke's leadership. You can go back and combo up the Caldwell and Baalke leadership, which are the 2 general managers basically the entire time that Shad Khan has owned this football team. He had Gene Smith for 1 year and then let him go and then hired Dave Caldwell, and the rest is history. Well, how about this number? The Philadelphia Eagles, for the 8th time under Jeffrey Lurie's ownership, will play in the NFC Championship game. That's 2 different head coaches. That's multiple quarterbacks that have starred and played there, and they have been able to overcome and just move on. They said goodbye to Andy Reid, and he is now, Jeffrey Lurie, in a position where he's got another guy about ready to get back to the Super Bowl in Nick Sirianni. 8 times they've been to the NFC Championship game. That is a standard of excellence instead of standard of poop. That's the 10-10 take, because honestly, that's how different these franchises are. Now, they said goodbye to Doug, and then a year later, this team said hello to Doug. And there was a power struggle up there, and we all know it's been well documented, particularly up in Philadelphia, about what went wrong and why wouldn't Doug let go of the coaches that they wanted him to let go of, and it's Howie Roseman versus Doug and all this kind of stuff. And Doug came out and got another opportunity, and he was successful early and then hasn't been successful since. Meanwhile, Nick Sirianni, as much as he gets clobbered, he's got his team back in the NFC Championship game.
So your question earlier was, do we have a Shad Khan problem?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's a Shad Khan problem. I think he needs to be more engaged.
I think
that's the thing. I think he needs to treat this franchise like he treats his companies.
Mm-hmm.
How he built that company into $1 billion business. That's what he's got to do.
Yeah.
He's got to be engaged in this thing. He can't just sit back and just say, well, I'll just throw money at it, and hopefully we'll get one of these guys will get it right. He's got to say, look, this guy, 26-58 since he's been here, that's not working.
Yeah, and
5-17 in the last year and a half, that's not working.
And I would make one more recommendation. Like we all say, he's a willing spender. He doesn't meddle. He's not a helicopter owner. But what you're suggesting,
he's got to engage a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. What you're suggesting is engage.
Well, but look who's he's being engaged with. He's being misinformed.
I know that, but he's a very smart man. Clearly, he is from building that company that he built.
Yes.
So he understands business. The NFL is a business. It's not a sport that you play around with. It's a business. He understands that.
Well, he understands he keeps making money whether win or lose.
I get that too. I get that too. But at some point, if you're an owner, the ultimate thing is winning a championship. You saw the look on his face when they won that playoff game against the Chargers in the locker room. He was beside himself, man. That he should be thinking, that's what I want to feel every single week in this league.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you, but the source is the problem.
It's funny because
that's why I have a problem with the source of the information.
But I'm sure in his time as the guy who built his company, he didn't say at one point, all right, that guy's got to go. I might like him. I might think he has an idea of what's going on, but now we're losing money. He's got to go.
Yeah, he might have leaned more ruthless than loyal.
But to JJ's fact, he's not losing money.
No, I know that. But at the end of the day, he's also not getting what he wants.
Yeah, I keep repeating, there's two jobs in this world that you can make money no matter how bad you suck. And this is one of them. And the other thing is that all he really needs to do is, if he's trusting someone to be his man inside, is just change that someone. That he still can be a bit of an absentee owner. He just needs to get a better guy at the controls. And right now he's he doesn't
seem to be willing to get rid of Baalke and playing musical chairs where Baalke, I'm gonna move you from this position and bring somebody in. As long as the man is still in the building, he's gonna always have his ear.
Yeah, and because he is, unless he gets information from Trent, he's not getting a lot of information. Maybe Tony Khan to a degree. Mark Lamping on the business side, sure. I'm sure they talk daily, regularly, hourly, whatever the case may be. He's got that part of it nailed down, which really does speak to his business acumen. He hired one of the brightest, badass individuals in sports business in Mark Lamping. He hit a home run there. But the other side, he just can't seem to fix. And it's crazy that he cannot seem to fix it. So when we start looking at some of the possibilities, you're trying to figure out which of these guys make the most sense. And honestly, you're a lot of people's guess is as good as ours, because you don't know which of these guys are going to be successful. Under the Sean McVay tree, there have been some guys that have come out and been successful. Under the Andy Reid tree, there have been a couple, but there also have been some that haven't been able to maintain any level of success. And there's really no rhyme or reason. If you go back to Mike Shanahan, under his leadership have come good coaches, including Matt LaFleur and some of the other guys that have moved on.
Well, I mean, what Matt had just alluded to as far as Monk and his credentials with El Boogie. I mean, are they privy to this information? I mean, where's their research department?
It's called ESPN.com.
I'm just saying. I'm saying a guy like that, the information that he just gave about El Boogie and how he's progressed and how the team has progressed as far as passing the ball and not turning the ball over and running the ball. How is Todd Monken not one of the lead candidates here?
It's the classic Kirk Cignetti when he got the Indiana job last year. Somebody asked him, you're here. What helped you get the job here? And he said, "I win. Google me." So, and it's like Spurrier with when they asked him to send his resume in when he left the Redskins and was coming back. He said, "Resume? Look in your trophy case."
Yeah, and but there aren't enough of those guys that want to walk in and take over. The last guy was a trophy case guy, was Herb, and that did not work out. So they need to do what Leon's just talking about.
Okay, it's GOOGLE.
Exactly, Google. And I think more than anything else, I think you need to have that passion inside that building that we're talking about, where you constantly keep a short list of individuals that you respect, admire, think are capable of getting the job done for you, and never quit looking for that guy.
Well, here's another thing.
Peterson hire was
Here's
that,
another
by the
thing.
way.
If you're
It was
Shad
not
Khan,
a bad hire, yeah.
Like he was a I won a Super Bowl hire.
Yeah. Who's the Ravens owner right now? Do you know?
Bisciotti, I think is
right.
the
Okay.
his name.
So here's if you're Shad Khan, you call up Bisciotti and say, "Hey, can I get a number for Lamar Jackson?" Yeah, great, thanks. Then you call Lamar Jackson. Hey, tell me all you need to know. All I need to know about Monken.
Well,
it's that simple.
Right. Just as an example, the other day, Ari Mirov's doing a podcast with Kirby Joseph, who just gushed about Aaron Glenn, that type of guy. And Aaron Glenn was one of the big names in the rotation this year. He rose with the Lions alongside Ben Johnson because they were looking at both of these guys this year. It was just Ben Johnson last year. Even though Aaron Glenn didn't have a great stat sheet with his defense and got clobbered in the end by the Commanders, he's still a respected player turned coach turned potential successful head coach. All right, here's off the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. I just read an article, USA Today. Give Matty some love. You can find his stuff at USA Today Sports. It says Liam was right to turn down the job, that this organization is a mess. And Coen is to blame because he takes way too long to fire people that need to be fired. Even the national media knows what the problem is. I know he's seen these headlines. I find it hard to believe he hasn't already heard that Trent's presence makes this job less desirable. But if you're doubling down, why not just say it and stand on it? That's where we are right now. He went from the press conference where it wasn't a very solid press conference showing by Shad. It really was not.
He imploded, yes.
and now he's kind of gone silent on us. So we're going to find out what the next step is. You guys let us know what you think. 641-1010. It's XL Primetime Golf Club of Southampton. Wednesday, you can keep it rolling on the pop-off line, 207-7071, and let us know what you're thinking.
Every game is a story.
And the game is tied.
Every play is a moment waiting to happen.
We're going to overtime.
Your home for the most play-by-play is 1010XL. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
Epic offers. Factory direct pricing on AC equipment from Epic Cool Heating and Air. Call 904-859-EPIC. Epic discounts for military, police, first responders, and 1010 listeners like you. Epic Cool Heating and Air.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
This is Hayes Carline for First Florida Credit Union. I bank with First Florida Credit Union because I trust them. I can always count on them when it comes to the vast services they provide. First Florida Credit Union was voted Best Credit Union in the 2024 Best of Bold City Community Choice Awards, and it's easy to see why. I go to the branch off 210 in St. Johns County and the new Durbin location, but they have 10 branches in the Jacksonville area. You need to be banking with First Florida Credit Union. They're enriching people every day. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity Lender.
Seminole Hard Rock Tampa is excited to bring you live craps, roulette, and sports betting. All under one roof, hotter than the Florida sun. Feel the luck of the dice, watch the roulette wheel spin, and scream for your touchdown as the big screen comes alive. Dine like a rock star, sip cocktails that shimmer, then dive into the heart of Las Vegas right here in Tampa Bay. Live craps, roulette, sports betting is here. Get in on the action now. Only at Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Tampa, located off of I-4 near I-75. Gambling problem? Call 1-888-10-MINUTE.
When they were little, the other girls played with dolls.
Aww.
They played with footballs.
Who's them? Yes, it's us.
Helmets and heels.
From the First Coast Lighting Studios at 1010XL.
Weekdays noon to 2.
Some girls have all the fun.
Hello, I'm Malcolm Anthony. I've been practicing criminal defense law for over 40 years. It's what I love to do. It's what I do well. Stay out of trouble, but if you don't, call me, Malcolm Anthony, at 2854-LAW. 2854-LAW. for Malcolm Anthony.
The big game is almost here, and Sonny's Barbecue wants you to win a barbecue feast. Text Sonny's to the text line brought to you by Lifetime Flooring at 641-1010 for your chance to win. 641-1010.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Hi, this is Dave Barker. Want to grow your hair back?
IHRS, right here in Jacksonville, is the only hair transplant clinic in the country that offers multi-unit hair grafting, FUE NeoGraft hair transplants, and the 45-minute effective PRP treatments.
Multi-unit hair grafting gave me more hair in one procedure and within my budget.
Thank you, IHRS.
IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Schedule a free evaluation and find out how to grow your hair back and keep the hair you have. Call 904-777-IHRS. Take the first step to restoring your hair today. Visit hairforme.com.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
IHRS has been restoring hair for men and women for over 30 years.
Call now for a free in-person or virtual evaluation. 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Or visit hair4me.com.
Follow Florida Gators men's basketball on 1010XL. Brought to you by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. And by Renewal by Anderson, the official window and door replacement partner of the Florida Gators.
When my wrist pain was acting up and I needed help, I took Dan Hickens' advice and headed over to see the experts at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. This is Stuart Moore with the PGA Tour. I highly recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. Whenever you have a need, they took great care of me. They'll take great care of you.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy. The next time you need orthopedic care, you can rely on our team at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Transform your bathroom with stunning shower glass from Sky Glass Solutions in Jacksonville Beach. For a free quote, call 904-608-5151 or visit skyglasssolutions.com.
Hey, it's Angela and Brian Wall. How many companies do you know in this day and age that actually want their potential customers to call their competition and get quotes from them?
That's what WindoWorld wants you to do. WindoWorld knows there are other window companies out there, but we also know those other guys. When compared to WindoWorld, they can't offer you the quality at the price that WindoWorld can.
And with WindoWorld, you get the absolute best guarantee there is in the window replacement business.
If anything goes wrong with your new WindoWorld windows, 5 years from now, 10, 15, 50, WindoWorld and I will be there to fix it for you. You get peace of mind with WindoWorld, and to top it off, WindoWorld windows increase the value of your home. So look what you get with WindoWorld. Quality windows, low price, the best guarantee in the business, energy savings, and an increase in the value of your home. A win-win for you.
Call WindowWorld today and get your free in-home estimate or see them online at windowworldneflorida.com.
WindowWorld. Simply the best for less. Thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Every time you hear that, you lean in just a little bit to your radio or wherever you're listening to 1010XL 92.5 FM. It has happened. Trent Baalke is out as the Jaguars GM. Unbelievable. Round of applause, JJ. Shad was listening to 1010XL and finally has made his decision. You guys jump in 207-7071 if you want to hit the pop-off line. Trent Baalke, according to multiple reports, the Schefters, the Schultzes, the Mira, all of them. Trent Baalke has been relieved of his duty.
Listen, I want to thank Liam.
Don't say relieved. Fired.
He's fired. He's gone.
I just said it. I said it.
I want to thank Liam Coen. I really do.
And Ben Johnson.
Yeah, absolutely. him withdrawing, his only interview, him withdrawing from the lineup, I think may have helped him.
So let me
now
read
if you're Ben
Shad's,
Johnson.
Yeah, we'll read. Hang on. But if you're Ben Johnson now, have you made the wrong move?
Oh,
now that Baalke's out, have you made the wrong move?
Has he signed the contract?
I mean, there are a lot of candidates right now taking another look at this franchise. No doubt about it.
Just to repeat ourselves, it is a guy that will spend money. It is a guy that will not helicopter hang over you and manage you. You do have money to spend and a quarterback that you can go to the promised land with. And if developed properly, this offense can start to hum with Trevor Lawrence at the controls. Shad, do you have the statement, JJ?
I do. So this is from Ian Rappaport. This is straight from Shad Khan. Following several discussions with Trent Baalke this week, we both arrived at the conclusion that it is in our mutual best interest to respectfully separate, effective immediately. Trent leaves us with my deepest appreciation for his efforts over the last 5 years. Ethan Wall will now serve as interim general manager and play an important role with others as we continue the process of interviewing candidates to serve as our new head coach. I am deeply committed to building a winner here in Jacksonville and look forward to introducing a new head coach who will make that happen for our players and fans alike.
Everybody stand up. Round of applause for Shad Khan right now.
Better late than never.
Better late than never is the way to say it, because at the very least, the voices of Duval, the movement that is out there, has been heard by the owner of this franchise that he wants to deliver a winner.
I mean, I got to be honest. I don't like the fact that he didn't say we're going to hire a new general manager, too.
That scared me, too.
I don't like the fact that he said Ethan Wall is our interim guy and he's going to move forward with us. And I mean, all you have is Trent Baalke's right-hand man there.
That scared me, too.
It's like Dave Caldwell leaving and Trent Baalke walking in. It's the same thing.
Another plant. I'm concerned.
Well, I just want to say to Shad right now, because he did make the decision on XL Primetime's time, is that don't let Ethan Wall rise through the ranks.
Rip off the Band-Aid.
Yeah, exactly. You have got to look outside of the building. You've got to make sure that your personnel department, your personnel decision maker, is at the top of the chain when it comes to the best in the National Football League. And you know who wins in the National Football League. They're regulars, okay? The Kansas Cities, the Baltimores, the Buffaloes, San Fran up until this year. You know where the success lies. Go find your best guy and bring him in this building.
I don't want to have to say this, but I mean, Belichick's still working under a memorandum of agreement or whatever they call that thing. He has not signed his deal. Lombardi would be his GM. I'm just throwing it out there, man. That's all. Just throwing it out there.
Bill Belichick, apparently, when he decided to go to North Carolina, gave the proverbial big finger to everybody else in the National Football League because he wanted another NFL job with a chance to not only catch up to Don Shula, but pass him as the most decorated coach with wins.
He's 18 wins away. Is that right? Is that right, JJ?
He's
18
15
wins?
He's 15 wins away from
passing
14,
him.
Yeah, 15 to pass him.
Yeah. And so Dallas is still out there. Duval's still out there. If you were looking at attractive places where Bill Belichick might go, one of those two easily could be a possibility.
Jacksonville?
But all I'm
That's
thinking,
pretty good.
I like that. I like that. I like that a lot.
I got that from Donna Murphy, by the way.
Yeah. Okay, well, then definitely ride with that. But the idea is that Shad Khan has finally looked around and said, you know what? We're a laughing stock. People are taking shots at us. People are saying no to us.
Liam Coen said no to us.
I told you. I said,
job offer and said no.
Listen, that's why I said thank you.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Liam. And instead of, that one bit that they do on ESPN, you had one job. For Liam, it was you had one job offer, and you said no. You still said no. And that, I would think, spoke volumes to Shad Khan. If this one guy that we like and no one else is asked for an interview and we're zeroing in on him and he chooses to say no to us and stay where he's at and take, 30% of what he could have made or maybe even 10% of what he could have made to stay down there instead of come up here, then I do have a problem in my building, and I need to recognize
it's amazing that was the kicker. It wasn't like 5-17. It wasn't 26-48, right? That was the kicker. That a cat who had one job offer from the 32 and told him no. That was it. That was the line he had to draw. That was it.
Yeah, I was going to put Shad in concussion protocol. It took him this long.
So look, you guys are definitely fired up. You guys can hit the text line 641-1010. Of course, you can go to Pop-Off 207-7071 and jump in there. And Trent, as he is bounced, we likely will have him on the pop-off line more often than not. He doesn't need to leave us, okay, even though he's been asked to leave that building.
Does the Liam Coen statue go right next to the Frank Gore statue now?
Believe me.
Oh, yes.
They are texting.
Absolutely.
They are texting in right now. Give him a statue. Put him in the Pride. If you need to put him in the Pride, you can definitely do that. It's now, at the very least, the smoke is cleared. The fire is dimmed down. I shouldn't even use that reference with what's going on in Southern California, but you get my point, is that this looked and felt like a dumpster fire because there was no real attention from the top candidates to come in and be head coaches, paid attention to this franchise. And so now this franchise can be an attractive target. It can be a place where you can come and succeed. And we've been saying this for a while, Leon. Yeah. The AFC South is gettable.
It's winnable. Absolutely. It's gettable and winnable.
And come in here and put together a plan and go get it done.
Well, I'm only concerned about that speech is what Matt said. I mean, he said that we're still going through the process of finding us a new coach. I didn't hear a new coach in the GM. That was a little troubling to me.
Mm-hmm.
But listen, I'm not going to listen.
Baby steps, Leon.
Baby steps. I know.
Well, maybe the new coach
you
will
gotta
bring
crawl
in his
before you
own
walk.
GM.
You got to crawl before you walk. So I'm going to take this right now. I'm going to take this as a win.
And it wouldn't be a bad idea if that head coach GM had some solidarity that
Correct.
they did.
Mm-hmm.
Like the one that Hayes threw out a long time ago, which I loved, was the idea of Ben Johnson and Ray Agnew. Ray Agnew, a disciple under Brad Holmes, very successful up in Detroit, that would make a lot of sense. Mike Bergonzi leaves Kansas City, finally leaves Kansas City as one of the guys, a really successful front office guy with Kansas City. Now he comes into the AFC South and he takes the GM job in Tennessee. So you have to look around and find whoever that guy is. And I'm telling you, I would be looking at what Les Snead has done in Los Angeles and some of the guys that have learned underneath him. The guys that have learned in Baltimore, they've been able to transfer power from one GM to the next, and they've remained very successful. You can take a look at the others that have been able to constantly find draft picks late in rounds and have players that have developed. So look for that guy. And Shad, get a search firm. Get acquainted with people outside of your building and make people inside your building a little more uncomfortable. You need them to be uncomfortable, do you not?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You need them on coach. But listen, Coach Campbell said the best last week when he said when it comes to the GM and coach, you've got to already have something in mind of what you want your team to look like. Yeah. And y'all have got to work together towards it. Do you want a physical team? You want a mentally tough team? Though when you draft people, you got to draft guys who fit into your system, in your program, and the development of what you want your team to look like. So, I mean, that's what you need. That's how you build a winner. That's how you build a champion.
JJ, I feel like it's worth another that because people are tuning in constantly and they're trying to figure out exactly what we're saying. One more.
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Trent Baalke is out. He has been fired by Shad Khan, no longer the Jaguars GM. A statement from Shad basically explaining that they did meet and make the mutual decision, and he is now out. So Shad Khan will now be hiring someone to hire his sixth head coach, and he will move from Gene Smith to Dave Caldwell to Trent Baalke to now his fourth GM. And let's hope like hell the fourth GM and the sixth head coach under him are going to be successful. I know those numbers don't quite give you the confidence that you're looking for, but please let the sixth head coach he hires and the fourth GM he hires actually be a success.
Does this mean that Shad has to hire 80 more people and the doctors have to be replaced and everything? Or was it really just that easy, Shad?
Right.
You could just fire that one guy.
Here's the thing, too, is maybe Liam Coen didn't sign a contract yet.
Yeah.
Maybe it's something he could, just back out of it immediately, say, all right, now that he's gone.
You never know.
Let's do X, Y, and Z.
Right.
Yeah.
I
think anything's on the table right now. That's the most important thing moving forward is you're wide open now.
Mm-hmm.
You are the Wicked Witch of the West is gone. You are wide open. Mm-hmm. The yellow brick road, Joe, runs right through Duval. You're wide open now.
And I always like to use my other line. There's joy in Whoville again, and so we can go back to some of those feelings. And when you came out of the season and Shad made a swift decision to let go of Doug Peterson, there was maybe people that were excited about the possibility of a new coach, but then right after that was Trent ain't going anywhere. And so now this has changed. I want to play this soundbite, and JJ, you still have it pulled up, right? Because I told JJ earlier, bring this bad boy back up. This was the question that Mia asked of Shad during the presser. And we wanted to play the 40-second portion of his answer where he, in the middle of it, just basically goes off script and says, we are going to do whatever we need to do to help our head coach. And he actually puts together the idea that if he needed to move on from Trent, he might.
My response would be, how would you improve it? And then if it is credible, you want to do it. Okay. So how does the structure work? I mean, I just want to make sure that this isn't about ego or power or, something more sinister, quite frankly. And there have been some of those elements that I've found, in my experience in the NFL. I mean, if it's a legit effort to get better, then everything, should be on the table.
I think Shad finally walked around the entire room and realized where the something sinister was. It was inside the room instead of outside the room.
Actually, you know what I think? And this is just me. This is my personal opinion. I think he knew all along. I just think he didn't want to deal with the process of hiring a coach and hiring another general manager. He just let him do it because he's not engaged. Like I've been saying all along, he's got to engage. Now he's engaged. Now he sees, okay, I need a new coach. I need a new GM. And now we're moving forward. Now this huge cloud over this franchise is gone. And now you have a chance to go get somebody because the person you go get as a coach could also say, I want this guy as my GM.
Most people are going to point out, which is fair to point out, the obvious. If you wanted to say two really attractive candidates, maybe even three, if you include Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn, and Liam Coen. He may not have been attractive to everybody, but he was one that they liked and went through an interview process and were impressed with.
What about Bobby Slowick at the Texans? Okay. Why is Bobby Slowick not getting any juice?
The offense goes up and down, up and down. They kind of caught fire late. But some of these guys, they just look at them like, do they have a good play sheet? Do they have a good game plan when it comes to breaking down and beating defenses?
It's always spur of the moment. It's always who's ever hot, that's who you go after.
Well, I wouldn't say that because
look at the hires, Joe. Well, look at the hires this offseason.
But Aaron Glenn's team got smoked in the end. He's still being viewed as one of those guys that learned under Dan Campbell and is one of those emerging stars. And when you look at Bobby Slowick, his offense backed up, and then they kind of cooled on him just a little bit. Slowick and Johnson were candidates up in Washington a year ago. I'm pretty sure both removed their name from consideration.
Correct.
Yeah. And so, and heck, if you go back and you think this, Dan Quinn's a retread. He went up to Washington and has been successful. He did take a team to the Super Bowl, was very damn close to winning a Super Bowl, 28-3 lead close to winning a Super Bowl. But he is a retread. And Andy Reid is on his second job, even though he is regarded as one of the best coaches this league has ever seen. And so it can happen in a different setting. But you can also go find the young Nick Sirianni that has taken his team to the NFC Championship game now 2 of the last 3 years, and maybe taking his team to a Super Bowl 2 of the last 3 years. And then you look at the other side of it and what Sean McDermott has done. He's been a proven guy, but he didn't really get that team turned in the right direction until he fired his offensive coordinator in the middle of the season. And things have turned for him. So we don't know what the actual magic elixir is, do we? You just got it's that classic line. It's better to be lucky than good. And you got to get a little luck on the Jaguar side sooner than later because there's been an unlucky snake-bitten bunch for
you
a
also
while.
You also have to like forge your own luck too.
Yes.
Like when you go hire your general manager, go hire somebody who's been with the Ravens or been with the Steelers, right? Or been with the 49ers. He was with the 49ers, but he got fired. You know what I mean? Like hire someone.
You wouldn't be happy with Ethan Waugh?
No. Hire someone who's currently in an organization that has a historical presence within the league where they win and always win because they do things the right way.
Structure.
Yeah. We'll throw some names at you coming up here in just a second, because you can look down at Tampa Town. Jason Light's done a pretty damn good job when you think about what he's been able to do and to go from not having Tommy to get Tom Brady to winning a Super Bowl to saying goodbye to him to going and getting Baker and going from Bruce Arians to Todd Bowles. They've been able to bring some guys in there that have been successful. We can go down the line with a few other ones as well. But one quick text as we head to break. Thank you guys for this update. The air smells fresher. It is XL.
He knows
Prime.
the NFL.
Okay.
He knows the Jaguars.
Fellas, it's pretty simple.
He's here to tell you everything he knows about the NFL and the Jaguars.
You do a button hook, the rest of you guys block for me, I'll take care of the rest.
Mike Dempsey.
Okay, on go.
10 to noon on 1010XL.
This is Josh Woolsey with Woolsey Morecambe. Woolsey Morecambe is your MVP in the legal game. Our team of skilled attorneys tackle personal injury cases with compassion and expertise. With fumbles like a car or truck accident, we're here to seek the compensation you deserve. Right here in Jacksonville, we've successfully won over $100 million and earned a championship-worthy record. When it's game time, you want a team that plays to win. Contact Woolsey Morecambe at 1-800-WOOLSEY. Offices, Jacksonville.
Mia here. It's the Everything's on sale going on now at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned. Get $0 down and just $288 per month for a pre-owned 2022 Toyota Corolla. Or you choose a pre-owned 2021 Camry, RAV4, or Tacoma for $0 down and only $388 per month. Or how about no payments till July 2025? And you get 60 days to love your purchase or exchange it. Shop the Everything's on sale at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned today. 10939 Atlantic Boulevard at arlingtontoyota.com.
Mike Dempsey here. Look, it's been 10 years that I've been vouching for my guys at Dandy Boots, and for a decade, I'm proud of my association with a local family business. They make a great product. I've made no secret that I was a customer long before Dandy ever came on board on 1010XL. But I'm thinking I'm due a little Dandy swag, maybe a little love. How about a Dandy t-shirt, a ball cap? So how about it, Thompson family? What do you got going on over there? In the meantime, I'm going to keep eating those delicious tuna salad sandwiches. So guys, keep helping me out and grab a Dandy sandwich today. Hey, it's Matt Hayes. The conference championships are here. And it's a perfect time to play and win with Prize Picks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with more than 10 million active members. Look, all you do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch your winnings roll in. This week is the 7 days of Pickmas, heading into those conference championship games, where Prize Picks is giving you a shot at $1 million along with a daily reward just for playing. Prize Picks invented the flex play, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. That's right. You can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit and cash out as quickly as 15 minutes. Now, here's the best part. Prize Picks is the only real money daily fantasy platform with an injury insurance policy. That means your lineups stay in play even if one of your players gets injured. Download the Prize Picks app today and use promo code JAX, J-A-X, and get $50 instantly when you play 5. It's all there, Prize Picks. Run your game.
This is Hayes Carlion for Physician Guided Weight Loss. I need help losing weight. I'm older and I don't have the discipline needed. Luckily, I discovered Physician Guided Weight Loss. Their amazing technology, fast setup, friendly staff, and proven results sold me. They can help you too, and it's affordable with firm pricing, so no rising costs as you go. If you're like me and looking to kick off the new year with a leaner body, call Physician Guided Weight Loss at 257-4344. That's 257-4344.
We don't have too many cold nights on the First Coast, but when the temperature drops, you want to hit the heat button and warm up. That's where Florida Home comes in. They're the AC experts in Jacksonville, and the importance of keeping your heating system in good working order is really important. If it stops working when it gets cooler, Florida Home will leap into action and provide you with the best solution. Heater and heat pump repair service and new system installation. They do it all. Just call Florida Home AC at 777-4300, the official heating and AC partner of the Jaguars.
Dr. Kevin Murphy with Southeast Orthopedic Specialist, congratulating our Scholar Athlete of the Week, Ben Ward, senior basketball player at Atlantic Coast High. Ben is a member of the National English and Spanish Honor Societies and has applied and been accepted at several major universities. Congratulations, Ben.
Pickett here with my concierge doctor, Richard Townsend. Doc T, how does a concierge direct primary care operate?
We are a membership-based primary care made directly between a patient and physician. We'll have a limited amount of patients that allows us to give unlimited access and personal service to you. This individualized approach has been shown to lower hospitalizations as well as maintain healthier lives. We also give 24/7 access via phone to me outside of our scheduled office hours.
To learn more, go to mypvconcierge.com.
This is Tony Baselli, Pro Football Hall of Famer. I was known for protecting our quarterback. These days, I'm extending that protection to a different arena, your home. I have partnered with Heritage Roofing of North Florida, your premier local roofers with over 25 years of experience. Heritage is your go-to roofer for hurricane preparation with same-day inspections and estimates. They also work with all insurance companies. Let Heritage Roofing of North Florida safeguard your home and family. Visit heritagenfl.com for your free estimate today.
State license CCC 1335410.
What could you do with an extra $75,000 right now, or even a couple $100,000? If you own a home, you can get that money in less than a week with Loan Pronto. Hey, Prosser here. Loan Pronto is the leader in quickly converting your home equity into cold hard cash, so you can pay off all your credit cards or start that home remodel. Loan Pronto has several easy options to let you access the cash from your home. There's virtually no paperwork, no cumbersome process, no junk fees, often no appraisals. Listen, the average homeowner now has over $300,000 in equity. That's your money. Use it. One client got $150,000 out and paid off all their credit cards, 2 car loans, and a personal loan, cutting their monthly expenses by $1,500. You can get approved in as little as 1 day, so act now with no hard credit pull up front. LoanPronto.com or 904-999-1508. Get the money you need for anything at 904-999-1508 or just go to LoanPronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 166171, subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Yes, let the joyous news be spread. The wicked old witch at last is dead. Ding dong, the witch is dead. Witch, oh, witch, wicked.
This is XL Primetime. Brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool. On 1010XL.
So where the goblins go below, below your home. Just open up and sing and ring the doorbells. Ah,
that is great. That's Big Searcy going back to his good old days. That is awesome. I
was in a play in Wizard of Oz when I was in 6th grade.
What did you play?
I can't remember.
Were you one of the?
I think I was a lion.
Really?
Yes.
The Cowardly Lion?
The Cowardly Lion.
That's unlike you.
That's not like you.
I know it's not like me, but that's the role. I was
big guy.
Big and fluffy. Put them on. Yeah.
All right. I just ran
did the flying
down.
monkey scare you? They scared me.
Hell
when I
yeah.
was little.
Yeah.
No?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was
definitely did me.
Yeah, but I was the lion. Yeah.
I just ran down the hall and I got 3 inches vertical in the air and chest bumped Hayes Carline. Okay.
Nice.
We just did the biggest chest bump you've ever seen. I was going to do it inside here, but I was afraid that Leon would take me on, just knock me straight to the
That's
ground.
shocking because I always took Hayes as a Trent Baalke fan.
Yeah. But just honestly, JJ, I feel like every 30 seconds you should hit another that because this one
let's do it one more time.
Yeah.
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Trent Baalke has been bounced out of the bank, and it did not seem likely. You may say too little too late, but you better give Shad Khan some credit for finally reading the room or listening to all of Duval because he is finally eliminated.
It's never too late.
Yeah.
That's number one.
That's a
number
very good
two.
point.
We definitely got a little hint of this when they fired Doug Peterson. Like Shad wouldn't have just thrown that out there because he was uncomfortable and just was looking for something to say when me asked him that question.
I thought he lost his script. Honestly, I did.
Yeah, and he started speaking right from the heart for a moment, and then it got kind of like reasserted itself once Trent pulled on the puppet strings and said, "Hey, back in line."
Listen,
but yeah, that's clearly he had been thinking about it.
Leon has the best take about why this all happened.
He does.
Yeah, billionaires don't like being embarrassed. And if you got a guy like Liam Coen, who only had one interview in the NFL, one, which was the Jacksonville Jaguars, I'm sure Trent Baalke probably told Shad that this guy's a lock. It's the only team that's looking at him. He surely is going to come. And then when he withdraws his name from out of the hat, come on, bro. That did it. I believe that sealed the deal.
You got to embarrass a billionaire sometimes.
Yeah,
because it's like we've been saying, read the room. If you walk into that room with 31 other that you see yourself on the same plane as, And they're looking at it like, oh, man, we don't have to worry about him. And then it does. It's a matter of pride. And as hard as you have to work to build a winner, you still can look at this and say, you know what? I'm making money every single year. I'm not losing, but I need to be proud of what I got. I dreamed of owning an NFL franchise one day, and I bought this puppy. I want to win.
The last time I seen Shad this assertive is probably when the Jaguars were 8-3 and they finished the way they finished, because he was embarrassed there too.
Oh yeah,
I mean you're the number one seed in the AFC, 8-3, sitting on top of the world, and then all of a sudden your team crumbles before your eyes, and they're bounced out the playoffs. That was embarrassing too, and he relayed that. He relayed that in the offseason, that this was an organizational fail. So. And
I go back to that. I think we put a lot of faith in that statement that he said we need to quit spending money in free agency. We need to do better in the draft. So I really felt like, and I really believed that he would relieve Trent Baalke when he let go of Doug. And we all know that did not happen. And so, yeah, like we said, better now, better late than never. So here is the statement from Shad Khan. Following several discussions with Trent Baalke this week, we both arrived at the conclusion that it is in our mutual best interest to respectfully separate effective immediately. Now, he's good enough to include Trent in that conversation. I wouldn't have minded at all if he would have just said he's gone. But he did give him that love. So he goes on to say, Trent leaves us with my deepest appreciation for his efforts over the past 5 seasons. Ethan Waugh will serve as interim general manager and play an important role. And then the other part that I want to emphasize, important role, comma, with others, comma, as we continue the process of interviewing candidates to serve as our new head coach. Now, let's at least stay there.
Sounds to me like Tony's going to be part of the process.
Maybe. So let's just stay there for a hot second, because it doesn't say that he is going to be part of interviewing for the next general manager. So you have to ask this question immediately. Does a general manager come in here with the want to take over and have a hand in hiring his head coach? Whoever that next guy is. That's a fair question. The next question is do you hire a GM before you hire a head coach? Or do you bring them in both at the same time? I don't know the answer to that, but the head coaches are right now being plucked off the head coaching tree. So you need to move pretty fast on that.
Or you hire them both at the same time.
Maybe. If you
hire a young guy who says, I want this guy with me.
Maybe.
Or you hire Bill Belichick who says, I want Lombardi with me.
Well, if you hire Bill Belichick, and maybe that would be the case, but Bill Belichick wants to come in and do everything.
Yeah, but he would. Yeah. But Lombardi would be his GM. There's no doubt he would.
Well, I'm not even. Mike Lombardi doesn't do anything for me.
I know that. Okay? I'm just telling you.
Nothing.
I know that. I'm just telling you that's what would happen. You know that's what would happen.
Yeah. That would scare me about as much as Trent staying in the building, honestly. But you're right now at a point where
Belichick would scare you, or Lombardi?
Mike Lombardi. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it would really be Belichick.
Yeah, it would be Belichick, but it would just be in title would be Lombardi.
Right. I just happened to find what channel was it on? One of the cable channels last night, and it was the story of Bill Belichick when he first won, and then the hunger for more success led to becoming a videotape expert and all this kind of stuff. And it was a good little piece, and it was not an expose or anything like that, but it was definitely a drill down on how Belichick got successful first and then the hunger to stay there. Anyway.
What about Louis Riddick?
Yeah, Lou Riddick's another one.
I don't like to look through my television to find candidates to go work their tails off inside a building. And I feel like
I don't mind that. If they're the right guy, I don't mind that at all.
No, I know that, but like Lou Riddick, I always like what he has to say. But there are guys that now are in that role, and they're not doing their work every single day right now for what the next roster or draft looks like or free agent class looks like. That's what I want. I want that guy that.
Some of those guys still keep up, though, man.
Yeah,
whether they're on TV or not.
I'm just going to.
You're gunshot because of what was the guy that
Mike Mayock.
Mike Mayock, yeah.
And I'll use Mike Mayock as an example, but it doesn't mean like we always hear or we routinely hear Daniel Jeremiah Lou Riddick.
Because we know them.
Yeah, because we get
we
to see
them. Yeah.
And so they're on our television, and we think, okay, why can't that guy be here? And Tony Baselli's name's brought up a ton here locally. They go, he knows football. Well, I need a guy that is looking at expiring contracts, that's looking at the draftable talent, that's looking at free agents that are coming up and being a bit. I need that whole wall full of information that says, you know what, I'm going to kick ass in every single department here, and I'm on top of this.
Yeah, well, Lynch and Elway did it.
Yeah, well, Lynch did it. I don't know whether
Elway was general manager.
You know, the one thing that you are correct on, Leon,
He won a Super Bowl as the general manager.
Yeah, exactly.
Was that
He got Peyton.
He got Peyton.
He got
That
Peyton.
was the thing I was going to say. More than anything else, is that he did do that
When everybody else was running away from Peyton, by the way.
Yes.
Yes. You don't give me that look. Yes, they were.
Well, it's only because he had 4 fusions on his neck.
Right. No, I know that.
Yeah.
But I'm saying he said, okay, I think we can do this. Let's do it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to remember who was underneath him. But yeah, I don't mind giving him credit. But at the same time, Dan Marino walks into Miami, he stays there for 30 days and says, I'm out. You know, so you never know who's gonna be willing to put in the work. And I just want the guy that's on top of those rosters right now. Like most of the guys that rise to GM fame are not named John Lynch.
I think
John
Baselli is absolutely on top of this roster right now. 100%
Okay,
is.
But we want somebody who's on top of every roster in the NFL,
exactly. And
who's
in
been
college.
studying college, who's been
That's what
doing
your scouting
this.
department is for. That's what your pro personnel guy is for.
I understand that, but you have to have somebody that's been running those things for a while. To not to say that he can't have success, but usually the guys that have been entrenched.
Tony also watches the game too.
Oh my
you know that,
gosh,
right?
okay.
And it's not that difficult for Tony to walk down to the guy's office. Hey, Joe, tell me about this defensive end for the Texans. It's not that difficult to do that.
Dude, if they hire Tony Baselli as the general manager, that would be a huge L, Matt. Come on.
I don't know about that.
Oh,
man.
my God.
I don't know about that.
And I love the idea of Tony being the face of this franchise, Hall of Famer, the first guy, all that stuff. I love all that. But
you do a
gotta have
lot worse than Trent Baalke, bro. A lot worse.
And Tony Baselli. Can you do worse than Trent Baalke?
Yes. You can do a lot worse than Tony Baselli if you're talking about Trent Baalke is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, let's just, I don't know whether he's qualified or not, but do we know that he's any better or any worse than Ray Agnew, Mike Borgonzi, or any of the other guys that we've been talking about? Because I have no idea whether they're fully qualified or not.
Do we know if he's any worse?
I just know that they're in the actual business right now. We can keep answering those.
I mean, Baalke was in the business too.
Okay, all right. We can keep asking the same question, and we can keep using the same fail, and then we're going to feel like you got the right answer every time.
Right. But the track record here is fail. No matter who they've hired, fail at general manager. That's kind of my point.
Okay. And then, never mind. I mean, we could just say, okay, then he's the guy, and then
I'm fine with it with a historical NFL general manager been doing it. I'm fine with that. All I'm saying is, you've done it over and over and over, and it's failed every single time.
Okay, but one guy had the controls for this would have been his 5th year. Is that right? Yeah, 5th year.
The other guy had him for 7.
Yeah, and
the other 3 had it for how long?
Well, they were all bad, but yeah, they did have it for a lengthy period of time. Tom Coughlin is still the greatest general manager this team's ever had, okay? And he came out of college, and so there's no way to know 100% whether you're going to get it right or not. But at the same time, I'm trying to think of a good example. You just can't go plucking people because they're passionate about the team and expect that they're going to be able to evaluate talent on a regular basis.
All I'm saying is, you see how you've done it the last 5 hires.
If Tony
you
says,
see what's happened the last 5 hires. You've seen this franchise is a laughingstock of the league. That's all I'm saying is you're going to continue to go down that same road. Ethan's going to be part of the process. No, he should have been gone with Baalke.
I don't know. I really don't know the answer. He did not hire Gene Smith. He had Gene Smith. So let me just make that clear as well.
No, I understand that. I'm just saying in general, this franchise, the moves they've made as general managers have been probably worse than the coaching moves.
Well, the one I would always joke about is Gene Smith was with this team when they were in a construction trailer, and he rose from a scout to the general manager. Nice success story, but a dismal failure as a general manager. And so one's a really good story, the other one's a really bad story. Dave Caldwell, first opportunity as a general manager. That's a great story. he was bad at it. And then they kept him in power and became worse and worse at it.
Right, but look at John Lynch. He never had it. I guarantee you he didn't have his pulse on every player in the league.
No, he did not.
He's a fantastic GM now.
Yeah. It's like we always say, go out and find the 6-foot guy and say he reminds you of Drew Brees. It doesn't mean he's going to be Drew Brees. John Lynch is a good example of a player that has turned into a very good executive.
You're telling me he's the outlier is what you're saying.
I don't. Well,
Yes, name
he's
the
probably
other
more
ones.
the exception
I
to
mean,
the
John
rule.
Elway, how about that?
Yeah. Okay, so now you're up to 2. I'm going to take a break, and I want you to come back with your third.
All right.
It's XL Primetime.
Your home for Gators hoops is 1010XL.
5th ranked Florida find themselves in South Carolina for a clash in Colonial Life Arena. Gators Gamecocks. Tonight at 6:30 on 1010 AM.
Seminole Hard Rock Tampa is excited to bring you live craps, roulette, and sports betting. All under one roof, hotter than the Florida sun. Feel the luck of the dice. Watch the roulette wheel spin and scream for your touchdown as the big screen comes alive. Dine like a rock star. Sip cocktails that shimmer. Then dive into the heart of Las Vegas right here in Tampa Bay. Live craps, roulette, sports betting is here. Get in on the action now. Only at Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Tampa. Located off of I-4 near I-75. Gambling problem? Call 1-888-10-MINUTE.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. If you're dreaming of putting in a pool this year, choosing the right company is the most important decision you'll make. I've trusted Stanley Pools to build my pool, renovate my pool, and maintain my pool. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and they're still family-owned. Call them today at 904-269-7277 or find them online at StanleyPoolsFL.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
When the heat's on high or the chill is too much, who you gonna call? Cool Cats Heating and Cooling is locally owned and operated with a perfect touch. You'll keep your home just right, day or night. AC to heating, don't take a beating. Call the coolest cats in town. With a 5-star Google rating, they're your neighbors, ready to help. So get your paw of approval from Cool Cats Heating and Cooling, the coolest cats in town. CoolCatsJacks.com.
Tax season is here, and your refund can go further at Big Chief Tire. Frank Frangie here. Put the extra cash to work by investing in your vehicle, whether it's overdue maintenance, brake repairs, or new tires. Their skilled technicians will help you get the most out of every dollar. With 5 Jacksonville locations, fair prices, and trusted service, Big Chief Tire has everything you need to hit the road with confidence. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 today. Big Chief Tire keeps Jacks rolling.
I'm Chris Campione. Auto accidents can leave you feeling lost and overwhelmed. But at Campione Law, we're here to guide you with a personal touch through every step of the process. We don't get paid unless you get paid. CampioneLaw.com.
Count on Campione. Campione Law.
Here's Ben and John Lupo, owners of Beards Diamonds.
It's funny, my dad has sold people engagement rings, and now I'm selling their kids engagement rings and anniversary gifts and birthday gifts.
We're blessed with the relationships we've built over the years.
Check out our full inventory at beardsdiamonds.com.
Beards Diamonds in the St. John's Town Center.
Hey, I'm Tony from Tony D's Pizza. People ask me all day long, is it the water that makes the difference? Well, yes and no. Even water can't make a good pizza. It's the ingredients, too. The best tomatoes, the best flour, and the best cheese. Oh, and a lot of love. Tony D's New York Pizza, Bay Meadows and 295.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. Around this time last year, I was celebrating. Why? Because I had reached my goal of dropping 40 pounds with Awaken 180. It felt great. We all set goals, but most times we don't have a plan to hit them, so it's not really a goal. I'd call it more of a wish, and we know how that saying goes. With Awaken 180, I didn't wish the weight away. I had a plan, and this time, I knew I'd reach my goal, and I did it. 40 pounds gone in just 2 months. Simple. That was a year ago, and I haven't put on a pound. How do I feel? Like $1 million. Like the horizon line that looked so far away all those years is now right in front of me. And it's a brand new day. And it's time to seize it. Night and day from where I felt carrying around all that weight, having to untuck my shirts, winded trying to tie my shoes. If you're overweight, you know what I mean. Set your goal and know you'll reach it with the solution for weight loss. Call 844-346-1800 or online at awaken180weightloss.com.
This is Hayes Carline here to help you break free from the chains of pest infestation. The talk of this town is Kingfish Pest Control. By now, many of your neighbors have already joined the Kingfish Revolution, leaving their homes and lawns protected and pest-free. Now it's your turn. Call Kingfish Pest Control and say goodbye to termites, ants, mosquitoes, and other annoying pests. Trust me, you'll get exceptional service and understand why your neighbors and I use Kingfish Pest Control, proud partner of the Jaguars.
Budweiser reminds us to drink wiser, like hydrating between beers. It keeps the fun going longer, and it's a commitment to responsibility. Remember, good times are ahead, so no need to overdo it. Know when to say when, and always designate a driver.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative. What's better than beer? Cold beer. Put your company logo on a custom koozie. Check them out at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
D1 Training East Jacksonville invites you to their mega NFL football camp at the Bowl School February 1st from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Ages 7 through 16. Get hands-on coaching from former NFL players at every single station. The coaches lineup put together by Connor and Sam at D1 is proudly sponsored by Tim Tebow. To sign up, call 904-901-6470.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air, Electric and Plumbing. Keeping Jack's cool since 87.
My takeaway is Liam Coen, you beautiful. I tell you, you're my freaking hero. I'm telling you. I appreciate everything that you've done for Jacksonville. The one interview, man, turned the Jaguars down, and that's what did it. That is the domino that we needed. I appreciate you. You will forever be remembered on this day. Thank you.
All right, so
Beautifully said.
My takeaway is this. One's an anomaly, two's a trend, and three, which would be Ozzie Newsome. That's the third player to general manager. Is reality.
I love it when you dig in.
Now, I will say this. I understand the other side of it. Leon made a great point off the air. He said, look, this franchise is not at the point now where you can take chances. You can't take chances anymore. It's got to be someone who absolutely knows what the hell he's doing. Period. Period. So I agree with that. All I'm saying is I would not be offended if they hired Tony Basso. That's what I'm saying. But I understand what Leon's saying. I agree with his point, okay? And my takeaway is you got to get it right. You can't screw around anymore. You cannot. It's got to be somebody that knows what the hell they're doing, somebody who knows how to hire a coach, or they can come together, okay? Hire a coach first, then get him. Whatever it is, you've got to get two guys that you know what they're doing. And if that's your bottom line, and I hate to say this because I've never been this type of guy to want him. But if that's your bottom line, how do you not go call Belichick and see what's it going to take and what would it look like? Because if you can't take chances anymore, like this is it, you got to get it right. And that would be the first guy I would call.
Yeah, and I'll just
I have not been a Belichick guy, but I'm just saying they're at the point right now where you're teetering, man.
Right. I'll just follow that with just from an organizational blueprint mindset. Bill Belichick has run a franchise and has run it for decades to great success. And so hiring him or talking to him or anything to sit down with him would never be a bad idea. And even what you've seen from him post coaching the Patriots, his personality with the Mannings and all the other things, he's an enjoyable listen.
He's not what you think he is.
Right.
Yeah.
And he's also a killer when it comes to demanding excellence from players. Now, it may have all gone wrong up in New England, but I do agree with you that would never be a bad phone call.
Those dudes sit up straight in that team meeting. He walks in that room.
Never be a bad phone
right
call
now.
to make. Exactly. No missing meetings, none of that crap that can or has gone on either in this NFL city or in others. But the other part of it is that this is such a crucial moment for an owner to reclaim his image, his respect, the way people in this community and outside this community and the NFL in general view him. This can be a kick butt hire if he gets it right. And it can be a combo, a GM and a head coach walking in at the same time, quite possible. Don't know exactly how he's going to approach this, but approach it hands-on. and make sure that you're the man that says, I want every question answered. I'm no longer going to be satisfied with either average to below average or suck for that matter. I want a winner. Al Davis, just win, baby. Mm-hmm. Al Davis went from a player to a general manager to an owner. Okay, think about that. Yeah. Okay, and so anything like that, that's how this thing needs to go.
And he's got to be engaged, bro.
Yeah.
He can't just throw money. He can't throw money at stuff and turn his back and then hope that he gets the information. No, you've got to be a part of the process.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The GM hire, the head coaching hire, free agents, as far as draft picks, all that, the maneuvering, the minutia that goes on with the cap and all that kind of stuff. You just can't. I mean, I know he's a billionaire and he can just throw money and turn his back, but he's got to be, like Matt said, he's got to be more engaged. I mean, I'm not going to say he doesn't care, but what he's done, how he's done things in the past, perceives the fact that, it's my team. I'm just going to throw some at it and hope.
It's not unlike players. When you say players have to look in the mirror at some point and say, you're the problem.
Yeah.
He's got to look in the mirror at some point and say, I'm the problem.
Yeah.
Because I've let this get to the point where I'm so hands-off, so laissez-faire, that it's running around amok without me.
Yeah.
And it can't be that way anymore.
Yeah, and I got to believe that someone got to him or he finally had that realization. Something like that had to happen for him to go from where he was, which was to trust the GM that he had in place implicitly. Mm-hmm. And was willing to let that guy keep telling the same story to him over and over and over. It's not me, it's them. And he finally reached a point where he can now look outside of the building, and let's hope he does that. One texter asked on the text line, designed by Lifetime Enclosures, does Ethan Waugh have a chance? And maybe, but maybe not. My tendency would be no. Okay, maybe he could stay in the building, but he learned under a loser. And so I would rather you look outside the building and find success somewhere else and bring it back. Things can be contagious. Bring it back here, whatever it is, wherever it's successful. In L.A. with the Rams, in Baltimore with the Ravens, what the Lions have done, what Kansas City has consistently done, what Brian Gutekunst and everyone's been able to do, survival post Aaron Rodgers up in Green Bay. Those are places that have built programs and it's been able to span head coaches, quarterbacks, whatever, a great player on one side of the ball or the other, that they've been able to say, we have a plan. No matter if we say goodbye to Leon, we're going to find another guy that's going to be able to step in because we got a plan.
You know what? Someone somewhere told Chad, I don't know if it was Wayne Weaver or if it was one other owner when he first got the team, told him, the best thing you can do is just, don't be seen. Just be heard when you need to be heard, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's stayed away and he's throwing money at it. Whatever you guys need. He's got to treat this like it's his business, like it's the business that made him who he is today.
Right.
If he does that, I think there's a chance.
Gets that hunger. That's for sure.
And listen, the trajectory of this organization can be ascending if he gets it right.
Mm-hmm.
If he gets someone that understands ball, the operation of it, and the drafting and all that kind of stuff, and the coaches that hold these players accountable, this thing could turn around for us.
Well, you guys want a name that you recognize? You mentioned Lou Riddick earlier, Leon. One of our texters sent us Albert Breer's short list of GMs, which I always look forward to him and a couple of other guys that always put that. Will Brinson does a really good job of putting them out. Matthew Berry. And you're saying to yourself, what are you talking about? Matthew Berry.
The fantasy sports guy?
Get out of here. Senior Director of Player Personnel, Seattle. Seattle's been able to also produce a fair amount of good names, consistent names. Now, he's just one guy that I just looked and saw, so I had to bring it up. And figured I would bring up a name that you're familiar with from television. All right. Now, here's a name you're familiar with that might be screaming this entire time. Hang on.
Now, the 2-minute drill. Serviced by Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. Locally owned and operated. We're your neighbors. Find the coolest cats in town at coolcatsjacks.com.
We've got the embedded and shredded, the anti-Trent Baalke. He is in, and Baalke is out. Hayes Carline.
What a day. What a day. And they're back in the game. They're back in the game. Thank goodness. And
they're down 3-0. Okay, Ben.
Yeah,
and
but there's nothing. There's no
Liam.
ground that's been lost that can't be made up now. Mm-hmm. And so, we'll obviously talk a lot about it coming up on the Frangie Show. but an extraordinary day for the franchise, and hope is back. And the Jaguars are back in this game.
Did you and I both get up off the ground with the chest bump just a few minutes ago?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Very exciting stuff. All right. Coming up on the Francis Show.
All right, that sounds good. We've got it all. We will keep it going all day long. Trent Baalke is out. All right, now, I don't know whether Tony Khan's going to be taking over this franchise, but he does run AEW.
Yes.
Okay? He does run AEW, All Elite Wrestling, and they are back at Daly's Place. JJ, as we get ready to say goodbye, let's hook somebody up with some tickets.
Yes, so the 25th, that is coming up. I have a pair of tickets to AEW Collision at Daly's Place. Tickets on sale right now at allelitewrestling.com or be caller number 4 right now at 641-1010.
A glorious day, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Glorious day. Thanks to the Golf Club of Southampton, we had a great day. We will definitely power drive all the potential in terms of the head coach and GM search as we go along. But keep it right here on 1010XL with plenty more coming. The day Trent Baalke was dismissed from the bench.
Everyone wants to doubt Jacksonville. Never doubt Jacksonville.
This time I got it right.
Ultimately, that's not my decision. That's the decision of ownership, and I certainly respect the decision that's been made.
I suppose the most obvious question is,
What is this?